there is no real reason for Biden to come out and put a fucking arms embargo or a red line on the fucking table with a 30-day timeline that moves the needle past the election. There is literally no reason unless you are trying to throw. All right, let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Game of Throws for the Brandon regime once again. Okay, Game of Throws for the Brandon regime once again. My man said, I got a red line, Jack. You can't keep starving Gaza. You can't keep starving northern Gaza. And I'm giving you an entire month.
So our monitors now take us back to the State Department, where Matthew Miller is taking questions on U.S. support for Israel. Let's listen in.
So,
really? There's so much going on.
And I expect your questions will fully cover everything. Give me the chance to expound on all of those things.
All right. Well, let's start with this warning to the Israelis about improving humanitarian aid deliveries to Gaza. What can you tell us about this?
A few things. So first, the Secretary did write, along with Secretary of Defense Austin, to the Defense Minister of Israel, Yoav Gallant, and the Minister for Strategic Affairs, Ron Dermer, on Sunday to make clear our concerns about the levels of humanitarian assistance that have been making it into Gaza. This was a letter we consider to be a private diplomatic communication that we did not intend to make public from our side, but now that it is public, I am happy to confirm it and speak to it to some extent. I think you have to put this letter in the context of our ongoing and long-lasting communications and concerns about the levels of humanitarian assistance that have made it to Palestinian civilians. If you go back to April, the Secretary wrote at the time to Minister Gallant to make clear that we had seen the levels of humanitarian assistance plateau, and then after they plateaued, start to decline, and made clear that at the time that the levels were unacceptable.
I'm sorry. There is literally, first of all, number one, 30 days for you to actually give food back to the Gazan population that you are eviscerating is insane to begin with. It comes with the open recognition that you are starving the Gazan population in North Gaza. It comes a day after there were gruesome images plastered all over social media and even mainstream media to a certain degree of Gazans in tents outside of a fucking hospital being burned alive, where you can clearly see the IV drip, as they are begging, as they are burning alive with the fucking IV attached to their arms. It is insane to me. It is so utterly depraved. And not only is it utterly depraved and so unimaginably immoral, not only is it completely depraved, completely immoral, what is insanely stupid about this is that he gave a fucking 30-day enforcement. As in, it's so stupid for two reasons. One, 30 days for food to come back into Gaza, North Gaza, they're gonna die. The fuck do you mean? Oh, you can starve them for 30 days? Great stuff, Biden. Thank you. Also, what is the significance of 30 days? Oh, that's right. It's post-election. Are you fucking stupid? Are you throwing? Are you throwing on purpose? Even if you are the biggest amoral, bloodless, sociopathic scumbag who gets off on the death and destruction that Israel is doing at your behest, even if you are the child mutilator, okay, you love it when they're doing it, you still should at the very least be a little concerned about your party's standing come November. What the fuck is going on? I don't understand it. This has to be insult to injury, right? It does not make any sense from any comprehensible metric, okay? It obviously doesn't make sense from the morality of the situation. If it comes with the recognition that your ally is starving an entire fucking civilian population in North Gaza deliberately, right? That's already a direct violation of human rights, okay? You are a war criminal overseeing war crimes happening with the weapons that you are sending. But we already know that he is an immoral scumbag, okay? We already know that the Democratic Party is overseeing and managing this genocide. What is shocking to me is that on top of the overseeing of this managed genocide that they are trying to slap on a liberal optics-focused veneer, is that they are simultaneously throwing for the election. I was talking to a liberal friend of mine who's working with some super PACs at this moment for doing turnout and trying to do door knocking operations. And one of the conversations that I was having with him, because he is not as worried about the polls, because he keeps repeating, no, not Austin. Just stop trying to fucking figure out. These are my normie friends. Okay. You will never know who they are. I will never fucking show them on camera. Shut the fuck up. Listen, I was talking to a normie friend of mine who is currently working with super PACs, and the conversation that we were having, this back and forth that we were having over it, he basically said stuff like, oh, well, these are like Obama era consultants. Like, they know what's going on. I'm not too worried. They actually have a lot of money. They're very excited. You know, they're excited about the war chest. Like, I think their internal polling must be good. Otherwise, they're not like, it doesn't seem like they're too worried. And I was like, dog, they are fucking worried. They are definitely worried, and they should be worried. Stop assuming that they're fucking brilliant and doing everything for a good reason. Okay. Stop assuming that they are doing something for a good reason. They are not. Having said that, one conversation that we had, because he was like, I finally was able to like wear him out and explain to him the situation. And I was like, listen, dog, like this shit is not great. He was like, so what do you think could change the tide before November? And I told him one thing. There's only one thing that could truly change the dynamic of this election and swing polling in the opposite direction in the minds of a lot of undecideds. And that is if at any step, because they can't turn around from their anti-immigrant sentiment. They're already too fucking invested in that. They've already locked themselves into this. The only thing that can maybe change the outcome of this election, if an arms embargo comes and Israel is brought to heel and is made to concede and forcibly pushed into a ceasefire. If that call comes in, if Brandon makes the boss call and actually changes the dynamic of this, there are still going to be plenty of people who are like, fuck you, you killed half my family, I'm never going to vote for you. But a lot of people would look to that, and the media coverage that you would get from that would potentially swing this election in your favor. That's the one thing. That is the one thing that they could do. And lo and behold, what did Brandon do? The next day, he's like, 30 days, arms embargo is coming. In 30 days. You can starve them for 30 days. I had a lot of faith in Biden to do the right thing once Kamala took over. The pressure was off him. I'm here to admit I was wrong. You were right. And now I think Biden is truly bitter and actually dislikes Kamala's surge. I'm full doom on Biden and he wants to hurt Kamala. There is no real reason for Biden to come out and put a fucking arms embargo or a red line on the fucking table with a 30-day timeline that moves the needle past the election. There is literally no reason unless you are trying to throw. The election is before 30 days, chat. It is before 30 days. Him saying you have 30 days to starve out the northern Gazan population beyond the immorality of the situation makes no decipherable, discernible sense from an bloodless electoral calculus, okay? You are deliberately throwing. It would have been better if he said nothing. Do you understand? If he had said nothing and kept saying, we're working tirelessly around the clock, it would just be the same old bullshit. Saying that you have a red line that will be enforced after the election is done is literally the most insane thing I have ever heard. That is wild. He's hoping the empty promise swings the polls, but we aren't stupid. No, I think he is throwing. I'm telling you right now, he is throwing. I think he hates Kamala Harris. I think he hates the Democrats for taking away his toy. And he's like, I'm going to fuck up the bag. I love Israel. Am Israel hijacked? I don't give a shit. It's insane. It is incomprehensible. I think they're saying that the aid should start going in now and report of it will be in 30 days. Yes, dog. That is an enforcement and a red line that comes after the election. If you could say 30 days, you could say tomorrow. Do you understand that? You could say tomorrow. I'm enforcing this. You could have said that yesterday. I have a friend working at the DNC, and from what I've heard, your assessment is correct. There's bad blood in the White House. This is truly a spiteful, hateful thing that you do, okay? Like, because it obviously is insane. Like, it is not only immoral, but it also directly puts you at odds in terms of like openly putting it out there that you recognize that Israel is violating human rights. Okay, you are openly recognizing that Israel is violating human rights and saying you got 30 days to stop violating human rights. So that in and of itself is psychotic. Okay, that is psychotic. But we expect that from Biden. He fucking loves baby murder. He is number one at baby murder. He loves it. 100%. The fact that he said, I will do an arms embargo after the election is only spiteful. That's it. It has to be. There is no discernible reason for him not to say you have 5 days. You have 2 days. You have 1 day until you fix the situation. We recognize that this is a violation of human rights. That acknowledgement alone is a direct activation of the Leahy Law. America is supposed to, we know that America is a consistent violator of international law. We know that already, right? But this stuff is in the books, and there's a reason why they play this song and dance where they're like, oh, well, we don't recognize that Israel's violating human rights law, even though our own internal fucking data shows that they are. Like, oops, USAID gave me an internal memo, and I just kind of ripped it apart and lied to Congress. I'm Anthony Blinken. They do that kind of song and dance because there's supposed to be some kind of like something that keeps liberals together, something that makes liberals believe that there is like rules around this sort of thing, right? You can't go too far ahead. You have to play the song and dance. So it's worse than I heard. Kamala camp and Biden camp are bitter for many reasons. Kamala doesn't take advice from the Biden advisors. Remember, don't say weird. That was them. Fired several. Biden is bitter. He got kicked out, and Harrison is a Biden guy. So the DNC also dislikes Kamala. Remember, DNC failed with Gaza Speaker Harrison. So he's probably fired if she wins. Yeah, I think that there is obviously internal division here. Both parties don't necessarily care about like the humanitarian needs of Gazans. They don't really think that Palestinians are human beings worthy of dignity and freedom. Like that part is obvious, because if they did, they would be fucking screaming. At least one party would be like, what the fuck is going on here? This is completely unacceptable. But they are losers all the way down. Okay, it's all theater. They never even cared about optics. Yes, it is all theater, and that's why you do care about the optics. Okay, Democrats might come out of an immediate embargo now because this fucks them completely. If they want to win, they should do it like they should have before. Yes, for months and months I have said this, and if this happened one day, you would obviously immediately you would see every single fucking commentator on CNN and MSNBC speaking like they literally have been locked in and tuned into the HasanAbi broadcast for the past fucking 12 months. Okay, oh, we knew it. Oh, how gracious, how beautiful, how bold. It came too late, but it still happened, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see. We'll see.